Right, in today's video, I'm going to talk about my experience with an educational psychologist. When I was 17, I went to see an educational psychologist in Rathfarnham, and while I was over there, I did some tests, did an IQ test, and I mentioned in previous videos that I have an IQ of 70. Well, I did that test almost 9 years ago, um, and yeah, so I did the IQ test, and I got a score of 70. That's kind of funny because I actually scored above average in the maths section. So yeah, I must have scored really low in terms of like English comprehension. That one with the shapes, what's it called? I can't remember. Spatial awareness, I think that's what it's called. So yeah, according to tests, I had a very low level of intelligence. Like with an IQ of 70, maintaining employment is difficult, even in basic job settings. You know what I mean? And listen, I don't think the educational psychologist did anything wrong in terms of testing me and all that kind of stuff. She recognized certain patterns inside me, which I thought was actually quite impressive. That it takes longer for me to understand something than it does for the average person. When I'm writing, my hand gets tired very quickly, or my arm gets tired very quickly from writing, which is definitely true. But here's where she failed. All right, she did not explain what having an IQ of 70 means for a person. All right. Um she told myself and my mother that those IQ tests aren't always accurate, which was very poor on her part because I think for the most part they are accurate. The test I did was accurate for me. And that could be taken the wrong way. Like my mother might think, "Oh, he doesn't have an IQ of 70. He was completely false and inaccurate. He's an IQ of 120 or something like that." Because my mother is like that. You know what I mean? She didn't do. She's not the type of person to do her own research. You got to remember that. Some parents are a bit lazy, and you got to explain things to them. Like having an IQ of 70. You know, at that age, I was 17. I was just entering. I had just started my last year at school, sixth year. I had my leaving cert the following June. And yeah, so what you should have said was, um, you are not, your son is not intelligent enough to go to university or college. The leaving cert for him is a waste of time. He shouldn't really be that arsed about it. We should try a few different things, see if that can improve his IQ a bit. Maybe changes in nutrition. See if that might help. Maybe small amount of study each day, nothing serious. Don't put too much strain on yourself, and yeah, just hopefully when you leave school, and when you leave school at 18, you should focus. You shouldn't go to college. You should focus on finding very basic, easy jobs. You should have a look into the easiest jobs you can do. What are easy jobs? McDonald's, probably where I work now, probably isn't the best example. I've worked at McDonald's 4 years, and I found it very difficult, especially starting out. Took me a very long time to get the hang of the job. It's quite painful. I used to get really bad migraines. It took me months to get the hang of the job. That's not ideal. Probably should have gone for like an easier job looking back. What jobs are easier than working at McDonald's? I guess I'd say this working at the cinema probably is easier than working at McDonald's because they don't have a lot of work to do. Most of them are bored, so it's a type of job where you can kind of take your time with things more. I'd say imagine working at a clothes shop would probably be relatively easy. I look around at people and they don't look that productive. It looks like they don't have enough work to do. So then again, you can take your time with the work. Work on the lobby at McDonald's probably be a good job to have. But then again, most McDonald's restaurants might only have place for maybe one or two people max to only work on lobby. I know at my McDonald's restaurant, there's only one guy who does lobby full time. And the other people there can only work on his days off on lobby or on his breaks. So yeah, that's what she should have told me. Um, but no, she didn't say that. And everyone just seemed to forget about the fact that I had an IQ of 70, that I was mentally disabled. My mother expected me to do well in my leaving cert to go to college, and I haven't spoken to my mother in how long now? A year and a half next month, so 1 year, 5 months. And when I was speaking to her last, she was saying things to me like, oh, Mark, you need to focus on your career. You need to look at getting a better job. You can't be working at McDonald's when you're 30. I'm like, no, my IQ is too low to get a better job. So everyone just seemed to ignore the fact that I got such a low IQ score, and that really had a very negative effect on my life. And everyone put me under far too much pressure to do well. They were completely ignorant to the fact that I had such a low IQ. The information was there, and everyone just ignored it, and that's one thing that angers me. And personally, look, I think if you're an educational psychologist, you're well educated, you have an above average IQ, you need to do better. Okay? You're just lacking that common sense. Is there anything else I can say in this video? Yeah, I believe in a world where teachers aren't that stupid, where teachers have common sense, where teachers know how to deal with students with low IQs. But unfortunately, I didn't have one teacher who understood the fact that I even had a low IQ. And yeah, hope we need changes in the education system. It's